Keanu Reeves's name lands in the mind like a gentle prayer whispered into the chaos of a storm. For over 5 decades, he has moved through Hollywood with a calm and understated presence that seems almost unreal, as if he belongs to a realm untouched by the ordinary trappings of fame, ego, or ambition. While his life is often depicted in headlines as a series of tragic events, the true story lies deeper. What makes Keanu remarkable is not merely the suffering he has endured, but the way he has carried it, with grace, without bitterness, without spectacle, and without surrender. He has inhabited the personas of a philosopher warrior in The Matrix and a relentless avenger in John Wick. Yet the quiet heroism resides in his everyday choices, surviving without becoming hardened, staying gentle amid cruelty, and believing in goodness despite its elusiveness. The abandonment that shaped his early years. Keanu was born on September 2, 1964 in Beirut, carrying a name that evokes calm. Cool breeze over the mountains. His father, Samuel Nolan Reeves Jr., was a geologist of Chinese-Hawaiian heritage, and his mother, Patricia Taylor, an English showgirl and costume designer. But stability evaporated when his father vanished at age 3. Leaving no explanation, no goodbye, only absence. Years later, a brief encounter at age 13 revealed a stranger wearing the face of his father, and then he was gone again. This abandonment left Keanu with more than just missing guidance. It was a gap in understanding what it meant to be a man, a father, or a husband. He learned early that love could leave without warning, and that the world's promises often dissolve before they are fulfilled. The void of that absence shaped a life that would demand resilience far beyond what childhood typically requires. A childhood of movement and instability. After his father left, Patricia moved her children across continents, never allowing them to feel permanent roots. They lived in Sydney, New York, and finally Toronto, where they stayed the longest, yet still never felt settled. Each stepfather arrived like a temporary shelter and disappeared like a storm. Keanu's upbringing largely rested on grandparents and nannies, quiet figures who celebrated birthdays, prepared meals, and held households together while his mother pursued work. School became another battlefield. Dyslexia made letters resist comprehension, and expulsions were common at Atkinson School of the Arts after repeated clashes with authority. Yet, he found a sanctuary on the ice rink. As a hockey goalie, he earned the nickname The Wall, standing between the goal and the onslaught, absorbing the force so others could survive. This early exposure to instability and responsibility quietly shaped his inner strength, patience, and resilience. Theater, a lifeline amid chaos. If hockey taught Keanu to absorb impact, theater taught him to inhabit another life. Acting became a form of survival rather than a luxury, an escape from the relentless instability of his early years. On stage, he could step into other lives, assume other sorrows, and for a brief time, leave his own behind. This sanctuary soon evolved into a calling. At 17, he dropped out of school and moved to Los Angeles armed only with determination, a hunger to survive, and a belief that he could transform his life through performance. Odd jobs, couch surfing, cheap meals, and endless auditions marked the early years, with each rejection feeling like a small death. His first film paycheck of $3,000 for Youngblood mirrored fate's earlier pattern. He played a goalie once again, as if life was repeating a symbolic circle of protection and endurance. The first break. From comedy to action, Keanu's first notable role arrived in 1986 with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. His portrayal of Ted Theodore Logan, earnest, sweet, and sincere, captured audiences' hearts and became an unexpected cultural touchstone. Suddenly, the industry recognized his talent, opening doors to more substantial roles. Films like Point Break and Speed followed, with Speed alone grossing over $350 million worldwide. Afterward, he described the moment as a rebirth, tears mingling with relief and fear, acknowledging the immense cost of success. The body and mind strain of stunts, training, and relentless schedules became a heavy burden. Fame was no longer a dream, but a responsibility that demanded persistence. Yet, amidst the outward triumphs, the internal landscape of grief, loss, and vulnerability remained. It was a juxtaposition that would come to define his life, a man capable of heroic on-screen feats, while quietly navigating immense personal sorrow. River Phoenix, Friendship and Loss. In 1989, Keanu formed a profound bond with River Phoenix, a fellow actor and kindred spirit. Both sensitive, spiritual, and wary of Hollywood's superficiality, they connected over motorcycles, philosophy, and the shared sensation of being misunderstood. Keanu once rode 1,300 miles on his motorcycle to convince River to accept a role alongside him in My Own Private Idaho, underscoring the depth of their camaraderie. But in October 1993, tragedy struck. River died of a drug overdose at just 23 outside the Viper Room. Keanu, then filming Speed, was plunged into inconsolable grief. Friends and co-stars observed a sorrow too profound to disguise. Depression enveloped him, leaving him immobile in spirit, confronting the fragile nature of life and the startling realization that those we cherish can vanish in a single moment. This loss would forever mark his understanding of mortality and connection. A decade of care, love for family. Before River's death, another significant devotion took root. In 1991, Keanu's sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia. For 10 years, he became her caretaker, selling property to move closer, financing treatments, preparing medication, and offering constant emotional support. This care was not performative. It was a vow. She was always there for me. I will always be here for her. Manifested in action, not words. When The Matrix brought wealth, Keanu donated $31.5 million to leukemia research anonymously, demonstrating his desire to ease others' suffering without recognition. After a decade of unwavering commitment, Kim went into remission. These years taught him a crucial truth. Love has the power to save, even amidst chaos, and that selflessness can create ripples far beyond immediate circumstances, anchoring one's humanity in a turbulent world. The Child Who Never Took a Breath. 1999 brought both acclaim and unimaginable tragedy. Keanu and Jennifer Syme were expecting a child, Ava Archer Sim Reeves. Yet on Christmas Eve, Ava was stillborn, never drawing breath, never opening her eyes, never uttering a cry. The grief was insurmountable. Keanu and Jennifer tried to support one another, but sorrow became a silent third presence, omnipresent and unrelenting. Their relationship, though grounded in love, could not withstand the weight of loss, leading to their separation weeks later. They remained friends, bonded by a grief only they could understand. The loss of a future together, the absence of a child, and the reminder of mortality intertwined, leaving Keanu with yet another layer of pain. He carried it privately, shaping a life philosophy rooted in quiet endurance and empathy, rather than dramatic gestures. Finding peace through work and compassion for Keanu, acting evolved from escapism to necessity. a means to anchor himself amid grief. Work was survival, not distraction. His sorrow never vanished. It shifted form, accompanying him silently as a lifelong companion. He frames grief simply. It transforms, but never truly ends. In interviews, he speaks of death without philosophy or pretense, observing that those who love us will miss us, and that being missed is the truest form of immortality. These reflections reveal a man grounded in truth rather than spectacle. Acting, philanthropy, and quiet gestures of kindness became vehicles to navigate the voids left by loss. In every project, every interaction, Keanu's empathy manifests tangibly, emphasizing human connection over fame, humility over recognition, and compassion over spectacle. Love later in life? A quiet partnership. After years of solitude and sorrow, Keanu discovered companionship with Alexandra Grant. Friends for over a decade, their relationship emerged publicly in 2019, nurtured slowly, deliberately, free from Hollywood spectacle. Their partnership embodies equality, mutual respect, and shared artistic vision, rather than dependency or performance. Together they attend galleries, create art, and walk the world quietly, defying the expectation that romance must be grandiose to be valid. Their relationship is testament to healing, showing that love can arrive gently, patiently, and maturely. Keanu's life demonstrates that partnership does not require perfection or glamour. It requires respect, care, and the courage to remain open after immense pain. A life defined by giving. At 60, Keanu Reeves is a paradox. Wealthy but modest, famous but unpretentious. Despite a net worth estimated at $380 million, he avoids extravagance, rides public transit, gives up his seat for strangers, and buys meals for the homeless. Generosity extends to colleagues, bonuses for crew members, motorcycles for stunt teams, and to charitable causes, often anonymously. Beyond acting, ventures like Arch Motorcycle Company reflect his creative spirit, yet it is his humanity that defines him. Keanu's life shows that wealth is meaningful only when it alleviates suffering, and that fame is powerful when paired with humility. In every interaction, he reinforces the idea that compassion and kindness, however quiet, have enduring impact and can define a legacy more profoundly than awards or box office figures. The ending. That isn't an ending. Keanu Reeves' story is not a tale of triumph over adversity. Tragedy never fully ends. Instead, it is a testament to choosing kindness in a world that often rewards hardness. Surviving does not equate to living, yet survival becomes the first step toward renewed purpose. Gentle strength, sustained through loss and sorrow, defines his legend. His life offers hope that even in profound grief, one can find resilience, generosity, and joy. If his journey teaches anything, it is that courage is not always loud. It is the quiet determination to remain soft in a hard world, to endure without embitterment, and to continue loving when the world has proven unreliable. Keanu Reeves whispers to the world, "I'm happy to be here," and in doing so reminds us all of the quiet power of presence, empathy, and hope.